Profile, an online business information and startup service provider, recently released information about the best locations to invest in Airbnb properties. Well, the company looked at a number of factors, including cost of living, the occupancy rate, and then monthly revenue. Well, get this, and for some of us, this may not be a surprise, but Nashville sits in the second best city to invest in an Airbnb. Well, this morning, we are talking with Erika Kurre. She is a realtor with Benchmark Realty. She not only represents Airbnb investors, she is one herself. So you really, Erika, have a pulse on the market in Music City.
Yeah, absolutely. And the market is really active right now. A lot of people wouldn't think that if you see a lot of the national headlines, but I've mentioned on social media and throughout my other venues of talking about this subject that every market is local, and it's market to market, the difference in success. And it's no surprise to me that Nashville is number 2 for Airbnb activity.
When someone's looking to invest, for those who may see this morning, like, you know what, this is a good idea, I've been thinking about it. What sort of money are they looking at that they would need to invest into an Airbnb past the point of getting that home under contract?
There are a lot of different variables that go into it, but I would say generally speaking, for investment loans, you need to allow for at least a 20% down payment on your investment property. A lot of investment loans require 30%. So keep in mind that you need to have that cash flow there to be able to tap into to get your foot in the door with that. But then the other thing too is a lot of it has to do with how much money you can make for how much money you're spending. You obviously don't want to get into an Airbnb or any investment property where you're not making monthly, at least a month, enough to cover what your mortgage payment is, your cost of utilities, expenses, because for Airbnb specifically, you are paying those utilities as the homeowner.
When it comes to, there's got to be some drawbacks to owning an Airbnb. What are those that you can maybe touch on this morning that people or, those looking to invest need to keep in the back of their mind?
Yes. So what I've noticed for myself and for a lot of my investor clients is that the biggest question they come to me with, and the biggest question I have personally, is as you acquire these short-term rental properties, these Airbnbs, these midterm rentals, you want to be able to realize if you have the time to take care of them yourself. You're going to have more frequent turnaround between the people who stay with you. And then you're going to also need to be able to time cleaning the property, having it fully furnished and making sure those furnishings are still updated, fresh, and clean. You need to make sure that you have the ability to be able to monitor who you have booked and when, because you don't want to have double bookings and overlappings there. And so short-term rentals in general do take more time and effort than just having a long-term rental that sits and rents out, and you don't have to do much between renters because a lot of the onus for the renters is on them in the more long-term options. Here in the Nashville area, one of the issues that I've noticed is that there aren't a lot of short-term rental management companies who are out there that specifically specialize in that. I have an investment property in Florida in the Panhandle. There are a lot of short-term rental management companies down there who just have it down to a fine art, the cleaning, the service, all the things that they provide as far as traveler's insurance, things like that. And we haven't yet honed that here in this Middle Tennessee market with our management companies. And so I see a need for that. There are a couple out there, but again, we have so many of those investors around here, there could be a lot more to be able to service this market.
Very nice. That is good to know. As we're looking for, that property for an Airbnb to invest in an Airbnb, what part of town do we need to be looking in? Again, you are very familiar with the Nashville market. It is growing. How do we look to make sure that we're getting a property that would be safe for someone looking to book that Airbnb that we'd have in the future?
Honestly, it's sort of a case-by-case basis on what the investor wants, their vision for how they want to make money. We have investor clients who want to be specifically downtown. They want to service the people who come to town for entertainment or for business conferences. They want it to be a long weekend kind of Airbnb. And so you have to find a property there that suits a lot of your needs for the criteria that you have in mind to service your clients. There are other people who I represent who they want to be down in Columbia because they want to be able to service the manufacturers. Those companies down there, they see a lot of need for housing that may only be for maybe 6 months or a year, but they want to be able to provide the midterm need, the rentals for the people down there who are maybe coming and going with a lot of the factory work in Columbia. There are people who want to have midterm rentals for families who maybe are moving into Williamson County, but they need to wait 6 months for their home to be built, or they need to wait 6 months to just be able to get a feel for the area and know exactly where they want to buy. So in that case, you want to pay attention to schools, the school ratings, the schools that the particular property is zoned for. You want to pay attention to proximity to the schools or proximity to maybe some of the hospitals or the areas where a lot of our residents in Williamson County may live. It just really depends, person to person on what their needs are, the need that they want to fill in the market, and how they want to provide a service to their clients, and then kind of go from there.
Erika, I cannot thank you enough for your time, for the information. I know this is helpful to all of those watching this morning who are kind of thinking they may want to invest in their first Airbnb or another one. So thank you, and we very much appreciate it. And I look forward to having you back, hopefully.
Thanks again. Would love to come back.
That's fantastic.